This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we chat all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships all the way to the adult industry itself. I'm SILVIA SAIGE, and this is my Pornspective, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. Get ready, because Sexy Funny Raw starts now.
You have to do that shoulder action when that music starts. Yeah. Like,
I told you that I don't have rhythm, so anything like musically for me, I'm just like, what? What are we?
At least you admit you don't have rhythm. You know, there's so
No,
many
it's
people
so
out
bad.
there, they're doing the TikTok, and it's like, no, girl.
I know I don't have it. I'm very aware. I've been literally dancing thinking I'm feeling great, and then someone's like, sit down. You should sit down. I'm like, you're right, I should sit down.
You know that you mentioned, because we've been out at clubs, and it's not like you're on the dance floor.
Nope.
No.
I am absolutely not on the dance floor. The only thing I will do on the dance floor is cut across it to go to the bathroom. That's
Or buy shots, by the way.
Yeah, or that.
When shots come out,
shots.
I know it's going to be a night.
Yeah, that I won't remember. That's exactly
Or
what
that
it
I'll be
will
on your sofa doing things I should not be doing.
Also very true. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Sexy Funny Raw. I am joined with my co-host, Mr. Alexander. Big thank you to our sponsors, both CyberSocket and Fleshbot. And I'm very excited because this week we have two guests that have come here together, and I really love the message that they send. So I have a mother and son duo. I have KarenLee and her son Cam. And they do a podcast themselves called Sex Talk with My Mom, and it is one of my favorite podcasts out there. I absolutely love the message that you guys are sending. So let me just tell you a little bit about these two.
We got your AGT picture in there.
Oh, God.
So, Karen, after becoming a widow and re-entering the singles world, Karen created her own internet talk show called Love Encore. Through her platform, she redefined the term redefined the term cougar to mean confident, older, unique, genuine, assertive, and racy women.
Love that.
She's published multiple books to inspire both men and women to be their authentic self. She co-hosts a hilarious podcast with her son, Sex Talk with My Mom, and they now reside both in Los Angeles. And you are a mother of three, holding a master's degree in social work from the University of Illinois. Amazing.
Woohoo!
I know.
And for the boys, we have Cam, Chicago-bred, LA-based comedian, podcaster, and podcast network founder. When he's not posing with a guitar in short shorts, when he's not failing in the dating world, he's overanalyzing it with his mother on the podcast we talked about, Sex Talk with My Mom, which is, if you just want to watch one episode or listen to one episode, it's not going to be one episode. It's going to be a binge because it's so hilarious.
Thank you.
He's also the founder of Pleasure Podcast, which is a network of 15 leading podcasts opening the conversation around sex, which we know from this show is so powerful and so necessary. The collective reaches over 1.5 million monthly downloads and partners with brands ranging from adult toy manufacturers to meditation apps, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Please welcome Cam.
Love it.
Okay, I just have to say really fast, we played a picture of you on AGT. Can we show that picture again?
No
You look so
explanation.
innocent. That's either a porn I saw once or...
What is that for, Cam?
This was a comedy act that I did on America's Got Talent.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it did resemble porn more than it did comedy. There was a lot of spitting involved.
Really?
With
Yes.
other men.
With other men.
Interesting.
Yes,
Thank
it was
God
wild.
it was pre-COVID.
So did that go anywhere? Did you do anything with
Yeah, we
that?
got to the quarterfinals of
You
America's
did?
Got Talent. Yeah,
And what were you actually doing? What was the...
we were spitting in a
Just
beautiful way.
Really?
In a revoltingly beautiful way.
Interesting. I've got to
Proud mom.
look
My
this
son's
up.
spitting on TV.
That's
Yeah,
right.
surely I can find this on YouTube somewhere,
You
right?
can definitely
Oh,
find it on
yeah.
YouTube.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta search for those after that. That's very interesting.
Thank you.
I love it. So I've been a guest on both of your podcasts. I guess it's I don't know how you pronounce that. Is it both of your podcasts?
We got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
We can hear you.
And I just truly it's Alexander, you were saying before the show you have a close relationship with your mother, but you don't talk about sex. I also come from a household where I have a very close relationship with my parents, and I can talk about it with my father, but not with my mother, which is weird because I used to be able to talk about it with my mom. But I feel like it's such a mind-blowing thing to me that people don't have these conversations with family because it is the most intimate part of you. So why wouldn't you want to share the most intimate part of you with the most intimate people in your life? You know, so I love what you guys are doing. It's just such a
Thank you.
positive
Thank you.
message. Yeah.
Well, why do you think that is, though, that we have such a hard time talking about sex in our own homes?
You know, I think it just came to me, so this might be a half-baked idea, but I think as I get older, I still don't know that much about sex. And I'm thinking if I were an adult right now, or like a
I were an
father,
adult?
yeah,
My God.
if I were a father
I
right now,
wasn't spitting on TV.
and I didn't have this sex podcast, and I didn't know the importance of talking about sex, I wouldn't want to necessarily educate anyone about sex.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't know what the fuck to tell the kid. Like,
So-
I mean, you know how to have it. I mean, it's like you teach your kid how to drive. Why don't you teach your kid how to drive?
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's just an awkward conversation, and if you're not an expert in it, you don't really want to go there.
So what made you guys start this podcast? What was the initial, we have to do this?
Okay, so we'll start from the beginning.
Yes.
In the
Let's start
beginning.
from the very beginning. Okay, so I became a widow as we talked, as you introduced it, and I started a YouTube channel in order to find, to help women find love again. And I thought, well, I'm gonna kill this. It's just gonna be like, easy for me because I could talk about my dating experiences and people are gonna come on. They're gonna want to hear about those and blah 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 blah. I got like 80 views a month on YouTube. First of all, back then it was like 2012. There's nobody even, women my age were not, I was in my 40s. They didn't even know how to use the computer,
Right.
let alone YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, started this YouTube channel called Love Encore, and it didn't do too well until I started finding like horny 18 to 35-year-old guys who wanted to find out about cougars. So I reinvented that word cougar to be a confident, older, unique, genuine, assertive, and racy woman.
Love that.
I leaned
totally love
into
that.
it, and basically, I wrote a book to help women again, trying to get the word out that women can be empowered as an older, wiser female, and
sexy.
and sexy. And I started interviewing adult entertainers about penis size. Learned a lot more about sex because I mean, again, like Cam was saying about not knowing that much about sex, only knew what I was experimenting, and obviously I was married for 24 years, so I had quite an extensive knowledge about sex with one partner.
Was your husband your only partner?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Damn, girl, calm down.
No, I was kind of like a wild child in college, and
Okay.
so I experimented and I did a lot, but still, sex back then was not nearly as open as it
Well,
is
right,
now. There's
yeah.
no comparison about sex back then. It was, I was like embarrassed to like masturbate in front of my husband.
I was embarrassed to masturbate. Yeah. I
Yeah.
wouldn't masturbate either.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
we could go down that route, but anyway, I just wanted to tell you how we ended up with this podcast.
Yes.
Because what happened was that Cam was doing stand-up comedy at the time, and
Well, I think it started before that when I discovered your channel.
I forgot to mention that.
Oh, you didn't tell him
Oh.
that you were doing the channel?
Well, I told him.
No, she told me she was doing a channel to help women get back out there.
Okay.
It
But you
Did
didn't
she?
know. But you probably didn't know what it all entailed.
it really progressed over time. I think when she started targeting towards the horny 18-year-old men.
From
Right.
tips to tips.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I started. I remember one time I'm researching oral sex tips on YouTube for myself,
Yeah.
and
You stumble upon your mom's stuff.
Oh, my
Yes.
God.
it fucking happened.
It's
And I was like,
perfect.
oh my God, what has this channel become? And it's getting filmed in my bedroom that I grew up in.
Yeah.
Because
And I
that's
was
where
like-
the studio was at the time.
I'm
my
like,
God,
I
that
gotta
was
get the
so
fuck out.
good.
So, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I just started talking about it in my stand-up. And then I was like, oh, this hits. So I just went deeper into that area, and the whole set became about my mom and her cougar book.
Yeah,
and her
he was
cougar
selling
YouTube
my
channel.
books. I was making more
Oh
money
my
than
God, that's amazing.
Well, it's funny in comedy, and you're a stand-up comedian too. The top things that sell are bad dating stories, or family impersonations, or family stories. We love hearing about other people's weird family
Exactly.
relationships.
Yeah. So it was the
That is so
perfect
true.
trifecta of all that. Yeah. And so then eventually I was like, we just got to do something together. So we created Sex Talk with my mom.
So was it uncomfortable for you both in the beginning to have those conversations?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That's just a preview of what you can hear on the show.
Were you always sexually open?
Yes.
And were you sexually open with him through his youth?
I think
There was nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
really.
But you
no
never
sex
had like the
life.
birds and bees
The
conversation.
did,
one
we
time,
did.
one time I remember him coming in the room and I was like in bed with my husband. He's like, "Mom, I think I figured out where babies come from. A man sticks his penis in someone's belly button." And I'm like,
Almost.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
close.
most men can't find the clitoris, so you're
Yeah.
pretty right.
Yeah.
I was 16 at the time.
No, you
you
weren't.
were not.
Oh, God. Both of us were like, man.
but growing up, my father was a physician, very open about the terms, very, like, we didn't say, poo-poo and pee-pee. We say
Right.
urinate and defecate.
Right.
We use the proper terms for the body parts, too. I think we were just more open about sex, although my mother said, don't make out with men because they're going to spit in your mouth, which Cam obviously had no problem with. but you're going to get germs. So I mean, like, there was like, what you should not do, So they did not want me to think about having sex before marriage.
Yeah.
That was the generation I grew up in.
Yeah. But you did. Because your
I-
husband wasn't your first. So we've already.
I clearly did. I mean, I had very good experiences sexually growing up, and I think that really helped me because
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with sex now and I enjoy it, and it's helped me throughout my whole life. And I think that if you're friends with me, you know that you're going to be talking about sex. You
Yeah.
know, it's just
Same.
gonna.
Yeah. Same scenario. So go ahead.
It's funny because my mom and I have not had the sex talk even straight sex, and much
Why?
less gay
Oh my
sex.
gosh.
Why?
Because when she was raised, we were raised in very strict Catholic households, and then Latin on top of that, where you don't talk about anything just weird. I was taught that you don't leave the bedroom in the morning till you're fully dressed. I didn't see my grandma in pajamas
He
till I was
doesn't
in
even
college.
he doesn't own sweatpants to this day.
No, and I wear socks to bed because that's what you do. But my mom, when she was in high school, a freshman in high school, she and her little clan of friends, they thought one of the girls was pregnant because she French kissed a boy, and
Oh
that's what
my God.
that's what
Holy
they thought
moly.
sex was. And they were talking about a freshman in high school. This was back in the 1800s, but still, that's not talking about sex. They were literally freaking out because French kissing.
There are still people
Oh, yeah.
right now in the world who think that having anal sex means that you're still a virgin because you're not
Yeah.
putting a penis into your vagina. So, and that's a religious aspect.
In certain cultures, also, my manicurist is from Vietnam, and she was like, the first time I had sex on my wedding night with my husband, I thought that he peed on me
Because she didn't even know
because
what
she
the
didn't
cum
know what the
was.
cum was.
Wow, that is. And how old was she at this point?
I'm imagining in
In
her
her
20s or
20s.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But to have no one have any kind of conversation with you, I mean, I am a child of the 90s. I grew up with a TV in my bedroom, and we had late night HBO. So I
Cinemax?
was watching porn as a little kid. So I already knew kind of what was going on, but I didn't masturbate. That was like so against. I didn't masturbate till I was 19. I didn't.
What
come.
a waste.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even come till I was like 21, probably.
But I think there's people out
Wow.
there that, and we've interviewed them, who haven't come at all, ever. And
Yeah.
they're of all ages. So, I mean,
Men
it's-
and women, or just women? Because I feel like it's more prevalent for women.
Well,
to
because
never
men, it could
come.
happen without us even being there. You know what I
Same
mean?
with
Like we
women.
wake up and we've
Yeah.
had an orgasm.
Women too. Women too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Women have wet dreams too.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I've never had a wet dream as a
Oh, I've had
woman.
plenty over the years.
Girl, she's just like a firecracker.
Or
It's
maybe
like-
I just didn't know I was having a wet dream. But yeah, interesting.
You never had a wet dream.
I don't know. I'd have to like
That's because
rack
you're having
my brain
too much sex
now.
during the day. You don't need to have
Yeah.
wet dreams.
No, she has a wet dream when she finishes cleaning her kitchen and there's not one little crumb. She's like, ah.
Yeah. No, you know what's funny is I was masturbating this morning,
Oh, okay.
and every day, guys. Sorry, every day. But
I'm Latino
Yeah.
6 times a day.
yeah.
It's like an apple a day keeps it back
Yeah,
going.
exactly. But I was having problems concentrating on something that was turning me on because I recently got dumped. So I was like, all my masturbation stuff was on that guy.
Oh,
and so now I'm
girl.
like, well, he can't be in my brain because I don't want to masturbate to him anymore,
Oh.
you know? So I was like trying to like recreate scenarios of like the hot neighbor, you know, like something. And I couldn't think of anything. And then for whatever reason, I just made a large investment and my investment popped into my head and I came to the thought of money. And I was
Oh
like,
my God.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
What a great turn on.
yeah, I was like, money turns me on. I'm turned on by my own money.
Credit score,
Like,
yes!
yes,
Wow.
yeah. It has nothing to do with men any longer. It is now
Oh my
strictly
God.
my own financial gain that turns me on.
Oh, go on. Chase.com. I'm coming.
Yes.
KarenLee, I have a question. Dating, do men who know about your show, do they feel intimidated by dating somebody that is so well versed about sex?
Well, I've been living with a guy for 13 and a half years.
Oh, okay.
So, and he is well versed in what we know about sex.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very supportive.
I love
He's an
that.
open person. He's got very little. He doesn't have a judgmental bone in his body, I think.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have that.
That is amazing. Does he have sons?
No, and he's not. He's younger than me. Also, I don't even think.
Okay.
How much younger, if you don't mind me asking?
15 years.
Ooh,
Good for you,
yes.
girl. Good for you.
I love it.
But it's been so long. He seems like he's older than me now. So
I would turn that question towards Cam. Does this, with your relationship with your mom, turn away prospects for you?
That's a
Probably.
good question.
You think?
I mean, they don't tell me, hey, you got this weird thing going on with your mom. I'm out of here.
they love me. What do you mean?
They do. It really is. It can go in both directions. Some people are like, this is kind of strange, and other people are like, oh my God, that's amazing that you have this
Right,
relationship
right,
with your mom. I would love to hear more about this.
Because I think, Karen, what I was thinking in this is that some people would go, oh, it's weird that you and your mom are so open with each other. I would think that some people would have that in their brain. Because
Sure.
I hear that with people about my dad. Because my dad and I will have very open conversations about sex. You know,
He's so supportive of
He
you.
is.
It was so
My
s-
dad has done this show,
Yeah.
you know, and we'll be at a bar having dinner, and he'll, say something about his wife giving him a blowjob and sticking her finger in his butt, and we'll have those conversations.
That's
and
very open.
What
That's
did he
very
have to
open.
say about it? Did he enjoy it?
oh yeah, he enjoys it. Yeah, he enjoys it.
Go, Dad.
So we'll have those
Call me.
conversations, and then people look around, and he's like, "She's my daughter. Do you think that's weird?" And it is not weird for us because we haven't made it
Right.
weird between us to have those conversations. Also, he knows I work in sex, and I talk about sex, and I do this show. So I think he almost wants to kind of identify with me. And it's still a laughing matter. We're not talking about it like my dad's like, will you tell her that next time she needs to grease up? So it's not like, it's not like that. It's still just like we're having jokes and we're laughing, and it's a fun conversation like I would have with my friends.
Wouldn't it be weirder if he didn't acknowledge it and he kind of just like brushed it out of
Yes.
there? Wouldn't that be strange?
Oh, my daughter. She
Yes.
just she likes to model.
Yeah. No, my family's super open. We actually just got back from Vegas, and we had met some family friends out there. And I always say to people, if it's especially in a family environment like that, I always go, I'm a comedian and an actress. And then I leave it blanket until they want to dive in anymore. But my aunt and my dad are always the ones who tell people, they're like, she's an adult actress. They're like, oh, okay. Then, and everyone's fine with it.
But it feels so good to get rid of those barriers.
Yes.
Even with he has two siblings. One older, my daughter's older, and my youngest son is 5 years younger than Cam. I think it's opened up our relationships with them and their spouses. I mean,
do you have them on the show?
Oh, they've been on the show. We talked.
We have a few episodes of them.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, do your siblings get jealous of your relationship with
The
your mom
closeness?
because you're very busy in your brand together?
I don't think so.
I think they're pretty happy not being involved with it. but I think that I have a close relationship with each one individually, so that helps too.
And you were saying you think you've helped the relationships and their marriages because are you having these open conversations
Yes.
with them as well?
Yes.
Okay. Like
Very
as
much
a couple.
so.
Yeah.
But I would be nervous, like, if I was to go on a date with you, that if we had sex, then mom would hear about it. So that when I met mom, she would know my penis size. She would know if I was good in
Right.
bed or whatever. That would be very intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to do a lot of reassuring that, like, hey, I'm not going to talk about this on the show.
Nobody
This
believes
isn't-
We've had to take down episodes.
Oh,
They
really?
were
I mean,
so fucking
it-
good, and because he's like, no, this girl's gonna get angry, and I'm like, damn, I wish I had known that before we did a whole episode.
Yeah. I mean, it's been.
Sometimes he tells me gold, and I'm like, yes, this would be great. He goes, can't do it, can't share.
Now I don't share with her at all because inevitably talking about like a recent sexual encounter is gonna.
Well, just don't say the girl's name.
I've tried that, doesn't work.
No.
They get so
It's-
upset
it's
about it.
brutal.
Even if you do
Really?
it anonymously or whatever. It's just
So
not,
just
it's not
avoid it
worth
entirely.
Well, were you describing bad sexual experiences?
No,
No.
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 And if it is bad, it's on my end. It's not usually that.
You keep saying this, but you have like the top tip giver. Have you learned nothing?
I'm textbook intelligent in this
Truthfully,
situation.
he knows more about sex than I do. Or sex, definitely sexual toys and any kind of. I mean, honestly, he knows more about these brands than I do.
Thank you, mother.
God, this is so weird.
I
But why do you think that you're bad at sex or bad at dating?
I am very conservative, or like I choose to have sex very infrequently.
Same.
Would you say that you're more asexual then?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
You
I
just
have
don't
a
want
strong
to?
sex drive, but I'm very hesitant with regard to STDs, with regard to pregnancies, emotional intimacy.
You know how we were
Just
talking about
go
Larry
gay.
David before?
Yeah.
Larry David Jr.
Oh, interesting.
I actually am curious how you. Sylvia obviously does adult entertainment. You do adult entertainment as well.
Girl, please.
Girl, please. So I'm curious how. When we talked a little about this on our show. Sorry if I'm derailing the conversation, but I'm super curious about STDs and how you make sure everything's clean.
Well, testing every 2 weeks is a huge part of
But-
the industry.
But isn't it like I have like a lot of questions around that.
Yes.
First of all, you can have sex like with someone the night before,
Yes.
and then that
Yes.
can
So-
fuck
The
you up.
reality.
So this is what it is. Is like, so people like myself, I'm much like you. I don't have a lot of sex in my regular life. I only have sex for camera and for money. So I specifically don't want to have outside sex because I don't want to bring anything into the industry. That's a huge concern of mine. But not everyone has that concern. And you're right, just because that 2 weeks wasn't in the window. But the nice thing about the industry is not everybody's on the same 2-week schedule. So like if I'm testing every other Monday, somebody else is testing every other Tuesday and blah, blah, blah. So anytime something gets into the industry, if someone has a chlamydia or gonorrhea or whatever, or heaven forbid an HIV scare, we all know about it immediately. And if it's an HIV scare, they shut down all production. Even if
Oh wow.
Has
If
that
s-
happened?
yes, it's probably happened 3 times in my 7 years
Whoa.
in porn where we've shut down the industry, and we shut it down until they trace it back to anyone that those people have had sex with, and you clear everybody,
Holy
and then
moly.
everybody can work again. But that definitely is a thing, and what's crazy is being in this industry, it almost becomes like I've had chlamydia and gonorrhea since being in the industry both, and it almost becomes like it's just like oh, that you got a cold this week, you know?
Right,
It's like
right.
you can't work for a week, you got to take some medicine and go sit at home. But that's kind of where I at least feel like STDs are for us now. The bigger ones, obviously, that are more serious, and I'm on PrEP for HIV, and I'm also on Zovirax. It's a preventative for herpes.
Oh, interesting.
So
So you take it every day?
every day, both of them every day.
And I have to thank you for pointing out that women can take PrEP as well.
Yes.
People think that PrEP is just a gay drug, and it's not. It's for everybody so that we as a unified community can be healthier people.
Yes, agreed. So yeah, that is what I would say about that is we do have a little bit more of a heads up because everyone is testing on the regular. So, and you'll go into a testing facility and I ask the question, you know, when I'm getting tested, I'm like, has anyone been popping for gonorrhea or chlamydia lately? And they'll go, oh yeah, it's coming around the industry. And I know that, okay, I'm not going to take as many jobs, you know, or I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to be more particular about who I'm working with.
I can't imagine Cam. I'm telling you, he's
Getting an STD?
He has high anxiety.
Yeah.
But this
You've
is what's
never had
happening.
an STD ever? Never ever?
No, I don't think so.
Wow. Good
But
for
an
you.
STD is not a death sentence.
It's
It's
not.
part of like,
No.
He's like
I don't
the
think so
cold.
either.
you'll use an elevator, you'll press the button, you could get,
Right.
something that way. And, we have this stigma against STDs, and it happens whether you're a sex worker or not a sex worker. It's part of what happens, just like you get a cold or something like
or the
that.
flu
and it's
or the-
treatable.
or
It's not the end of the
COVID.
world.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, now, how has COVID affected your industry?
It really affected it in the beginning. We were testing for COVID every 48 hours, every performer working. But now we have more. It's vaccines, and if you're vaccinated, you have to have a COVID test within like 3 or 4 days to shoot, something like that. But it's more up to the performer's own discretion and like who you're willing to shoot with at this point, because I think some people have already like, I'm not getting vaccinated, and sticking by that. And then some people are like, well, I won't work with those people, So It has affected it, but OnlyFans affected it so much more than COVID ever did that the main change in our industry is OnlyFans, not COVID.
I saw you. I saw you on your special.
Oh, on the Hulu
That was
documentary.
phenomenal. I loved it.
Thank you. I didn't get paid a penny for that.
But I mean, in terms of exposure, it's game changer.
In terms of exposure, my income like quadrupled.
Whoa.
When that came out, I made 4 times what I used to make in a month when that came out. Now it hasn't stayed that high. I've had fluctuation in my income since then, but man, right out of the gate, I was like, "This is amazing!"
This is what's turning you on in the morning.
Yeah, you get a car. Yeah.
Well, it's funny during COVID, OnlyFans and Just for Fans, people were in their kind of quarantine circle. So a lot of the top names were filming their own content with other people that they knew were healthy, and they stayed within that bubble. There was no major COVID outbreak in any of my circle of friends, and which is a lot of sex workers. And I'd venture to say my experience from what you're saying, and from my own experience with friends, the healthiest people, not just STD wise, but like, physically wise, are sex workers.
Yeah.
Because it is their job to be healthy people.
I say all the time, like, obviously I love fitness and it's a big part of my life, but I wouldn't do nearly as much working out if I weren't naked on a camera all the time for the world to see.
Cam, this could be the answer for you.
This is what get me to go to the gym?
This would be the answer to all your anxieties about scare.
I know. I completely agree.
You
I
just
think
become
regular
a sex-
testing is key.
No, you become a sex worker.
Yes.
Or date a
might-
sex worker.
That might be the answer.
So, like, what's the first
That's
date
a
with
great
you?
idea.
Like,
Date a sex worker.
I'm down.
It
he's
seems like
very excited right now. But, like, is it on the first date that you ask somebody? I mean, it seems like you're very focused on that.
Yeah, I'm a hypochondriac. I think I'm getting
I did
sick
not
all
know
the
that.
time. So
That's real fun.
We're walking.
Yeah.
We're walking in the building. He's like, I think I have an ear infection. I'm like,
No, can't. Is that true?
God, it's so much.
I have a
Lord.
fucked up brain.
So you're always
There
worst
is a
case
direct
scenario?
result. Yes, yeah. With regard to medical stuff, everything else is fine.
And now he's going to blame it on me. Here it comes. It's your fault.
It is.
Where
It's a
does
genetic
that
thing.
come from?
You're looking at her.
Do you worry medically?
I have a
lot?
few illnesses I'm worried about. Not like everyday illnesses, just like life-changing illnesses.
Are you guys WebMDers? Is that?
That's the worst.
It's
Where
the
you
worst.
go
The
wrong?
worst. A paper cut. You're dying.
Google. You look up
It's
headache. Look
unbelievable.
up headache.
Yeah.
First thing comes up, brain tumor. Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Great.
So I'll
Yeah.
call
This
him
is
up.
the 6th brain
Cam.
tumor this month.
Yes.
Are you at the doctor regularly?
Oh,
though?
yeah.
You are?
Okay,
Let me
you're
tell
making
you.
me sound like I'm nuts.
I love this so
Seriously.
much.
Seriously. If you go in a doctor's office that he visited, there's a sign with his picture on it. And it's not sex talk with my mom. It's got a line through it going, do not help this guy. He's beyond help.
I'm pretty safe.
Yeah, I would assume so.
God.
That's why your doctor's like, nothing is ever wrong with you,
Yes.
Cam. Please go home.
No,
Actually-
then he'll call another doctor.
No,
and his
no,
best
no.
friend is a doctor,
You're making
which
me
I
sound.
feel so bad
You're
with this.
really making me sound like I'm nuts.
Okay, how many
You're-
times have you been to the doctor in the last 6 months?
Oh, my God.
No, it's not that crazy.
Be honest.
Well,
Be-
mine
maybe-
is 0.
Including,
years, zero.
including phone calls and emails.
Yeah.
Oh no,
How many?
maybe 10.
That's a lie.
10 in 6 months?
She goes, that's
huge
a
lie.
lie.
Come on.
You had he was wearing an EKG machine on
Oh,
him the
shut
other
up.
day.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I
Just for shits and giggles. It's like,
She's laughing.
most people have sex toys. He has an EKG machine.
Exactly.
You have it at home?
You probably have
I,
the blood pressure thing.
I do have.
Oh
I have a
God.
little at-home EKG. But my heart has been giving me issues. Believe it or not,
What kind of issues?
huge
It beats
palpitations.
faster when I watch porn.
That's exactly it. Normal
People's
stuff.
hearts fluctuate.
Well,
Oh, man. Cam,
I hope
I'm,
you're right.
I'm learning so much about you. I didn't know you had this
Oh, yeah, yeah.
hypochondriac
Yeah, yeah.
side
Well, we
to
have a
you
segment
also.
on our podcast called Letters to and From My Doctor.
And you read it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
my
great.
God, I love it. It's got to be a HIPAA viation somewhere, but yeah, I'm down for it.
Well, they're letters to my doctor.
To my
so
doctor. Yeah.
Tom Hanks is doing the movie version. Letters to my doctor.
2017 and on.
Did either one of you come down with COVID then, these hypochondriacs?
No.
We didn't leave our apartment.
How many times did you get tested for COVID?
Oh, that's a very good question. I had it twice, and one was because I had surgery.
Oh, okay.
They make you do that.
Ask Cam,
15 maybe.
It's a lie.
15,
It's a huge lie.
16.
Did you have any symptoms
including-
though?
Always.
Oh my God!
I got a lot of symptoms.
He's like, I got wet in the shower. I have COVID.
Well, I will say that some of they had diarrhea down as like a sign and symptom. I'm like, I don't know about anybody else, but I drink a lot, so diarrhea is a pretty regular
If I don't have diarrhea, there's a problem.
Yeah, so, beer shits is a real thing.
Oh my God.
Sorry, we're honest. It's a raw show. Just being honest.
Sexy and raw.
Yeah.
Beer shits.
Nothing.
That's my nickname going to be for you. Hey, have you met beer shits over here?
Hey, at least people know what they're getting
I
into.
have a question. As long as we're going down that route, and you're in the middle of taping a beautiful exotic film.
Yeah.
What happens
Exotic.
if you fart?
Yeah.
I have farted.
That's a fetish.
I have queefed. Usually when something like that happens, I learned this actually from Wesley, and he said, you know what you should say when that happens? He just says, my pussy's talking to you, or my body's talking to you, or something. Because like if you turn
that's
me
pretty
over
good.
and it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, she's ready. She's so empty. She needs to be filled. You know, like it's like try and make it sexual
You own it.
somehow.
You lean
Yeah,
into that
yeah.
sucker. Okay.
I mean, I even recently, I farted on a custom I was making. It was only 4 minutes long. I could have remade it, and I was like, nope, it's going out just
going out.
like that.
I'd pay more. He's like, cha-ching, cha-ching.
I actually had a guy want me to. This is a sick story.
Close your ears,
Yes,
Cam.
I love
I
it.
unfortunately was involved in this story.
Great, even better.
Wait a minute, what?
Are you? I'm talking about the guy that wanted to buy my champagne nectar and scat caviar.
Do what?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he wanted me to go to a hotel of my choosing in Chicago,
Okay.
shit in the bathroom, do not flush it, and piss, and then I would
But
be
you can
paid
do it
like
in the toilet still.
in the toilet, but I'd be paid like $3,000 to do this, and then I could just leave, and he'd go and eat and drink all he wanted. I don't know.
Yep.
I said I would. It was after Thanksgiving.
Did
I
you
would
go?
charge him double.
It's gonna be double the amount of shit.
Did I do it? No, I did not do it because I was just like, what if he is a stalker, weird freak? I just it wasn't worth it.
But
And
I was
also,
I was ready and willing.
Are
you
Cam,
serious?
you could have
I
just
would've
said it was
shit and pissed.
European poo.
No, it must taste different. I don't know. But remember your tax person?
Oh, still my tax guy, by the
Oh.
way.
Oh.
But now he knows I'm making money. He's asked for real payment now because now he knows my income, and he's like,
Oh.
"Can you pay me for real now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's
Wait,
fine."
what was it before?
I used to pay him in my urine. I would show up to our tax
Champagne
meeting.
nectar?
Yeah, and
You're in a different tax bracket. Oh,
he would give me a cup, and I would go to the bathroom, and then we would do my taxes while he drank my piss. And that was like
And
a
he
part
didn't
of our
charge you
deal.
for the taxes?
Didn't charge me for taxes. That was for several years. We did it that way.
Oh
No.
my
Yeah.
God.
That I could do because I can
I
pee
had
on
no
a dime.
problem with it. Yeah.
I can't poop though. Poop is something that has to come when it wants to come.
Well, yeah, but if you would have done it right in the morning, if you would have stayed in the hotel and had your, do you not have a morning poop? I have a very regular morning poop.
Oh wow, you're very
show
lucky.
go?
I don't know.
I don't.
I want Karen to get this money.
I'm
That's
with
what
her.
I want.
I told Cam he should just
Cam
do
wants a
it.
PlayStation. Come on.
I was ready.
Pop one out.
Come on, PS5.
I mean, I will say there is a difference between men and women's smells
Oh,
in the bathroom.
100%.
Though. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll share a bathroom with a woman. I will not share a bathroom with a man. Even if we're dating for 8.5 years, we will have separate bathrooms.
Really?
It's horrifying. I will never go on a date with somebody after sharing a bathroom with them.
Oh, wait, have you
No
vacation
way.
with a man then?
This is really funny because I do have issues.
Yeah.
I make whoever I'm traveling with go to the lobby or go grab a cup of coffee, and then I'm having a party.
That's me too. I
Yeah.
don't want you to be in the room.
Nope.
I
Or I'll
need
turn
you
the
to
shower
leave.
on,
Yeah.
the music, the faucets.
Oh
Yeah, 'cause
wow.
Or separate hotel rooms
I
for
can
real.
care less.
I'll
Really?
I'm just like, if my boyfriend's in the room, he does.
But you've been together for a long time though.
But since day one, that's our relationship.
Really?
Our relationship is very open.
Even if you had even if you had diarrhea.
Well, one time I had
Still
such
do
a
it.
huge shit. He couldn't clean it up with the plunger. He called.
Oh, my
He
God.
called Cam and is like, "Can you come in here and do this?"
I don't know how
that's
I
even
get,
better.
I don't know how I get that role.
So you had to come
Especially
in
you
and
with
remove the shit?
with scared of anything.
I don't.
Yeah.
No. It's only medical stuff. So shit I can handle, actually.
Well, it's.
He stuck his head.
Biohazard.
Oh God! I cannot hear the.
I did not stick. It makes you sound like I stuck my head in your shit.
Yeah, it literally does.
It's not what I did.
It was he'll do anything for money, too.
Money or laugh, if it doesn't involve medical issues.
Are you still doing stand-up, Kim?
No, because
Okay.
of
We've
COVID,
done
so-
it. We've done it together, though. We've
I'm sure that's.
Done
performed-
shows?
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, we've done live shows.
We play like
Yeah.
Never Have I Ever, the drinking game. I'm always the loser, you know.
You've done a lot more. You've had the
Oh,
more
yeah.
time, the
Right.
more experience. Yeah. So, Kim, are you trying to open up more sexually because of this? Because you're learning things?
I am trying, but it's a tricky situation
Yeah.
to do it in a way that feels comfortable.
When was the last time that you had sex?
Like penetrative sex or like regular, like any.
Wait,
Okay,
what?
what's the
Wait.
discussion? Yeah, let's,
Yeah, and I'm like, hold on, wait. What are your definitions
Yeah.
between a penetrated sex and regular sex?
Well, it could be like any type of intimacy with someone
Okay.
could be,
Okay.
considered sex if you.
Okay.
Depends on your definition.
want
how woke
penetration
you are.
sex.
Penetration. It's been a while.
What's a what?
I
It's
know.
a few years maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why he's asking for advice from you guys.
But
Oh, my
but
goodness.
I've been intimate with someone within a week or two.
So,
What does that mean? Like you fingered her,
A lot
or
of, a lot of fingers. A lot
But
of,
you don't feel comfortable with both of you going to
it's
get
a new
tested?
It's a new situation, so that so we're in that process.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
was
then
gonna
I'll be good to go.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, because I'm like, I always ask that question. I want everyone to be tested before
Yes.
I have sex.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so one thing that we have to do on this show is I do a word of the day, you guys, because it's a sex education podcast. So we do one word of the day. I'm going to say the word. I'm going to let you guys give an educated guess of what you think
nice.
it might be, and then we'll reveal what the word actually means. So,
This is Sylvia Sage's sexy, funny, raw word of the day. Do you know what it is?
today's word is CAD. C-A-D.
Oh.
CAD. What would you think a sexual definition?
Oh,
of
a
the word
sexual
CAD is? Yes.
definition.
Is it an acronym? CAD.
I mean, no, not necessarily. No.
I think a lot of people think they know what this word means and have no clue.
Yeah.
I think it's a young boy that you whip and fuck.
All right. Well, if that's the case. I
Give
need
me
to
a
be
CAD.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Karen, what do you think?
CAD. Someone who tries to present themselves as someone who they're not.
I like that. Okay. The actual meaning for this word is a man who aggressively pursues his self-interest, particularly when it comes to sex, with little regard to others. Not the man a woman wants to date, but the rogue she subconsciously wants to have sex with, particularly when she is ovulating.
I think I was very close there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you were.
Well,
think
and it
I
was a
was
term
close
that was
enough.
used a lot in the 20s, like the Cole Porter. He was like, oh, he's such a cad.
Yeah,
It was
right.
very
Yeah,
like
that-
English, British.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, but it
when
has
you
the
said
sexual undercurrent.
Yeah, sexual is he's trying to take advantage of her. Or vice versa.
I have met a lot of cats. I know lots of them, probably hundreds at this point. Yeah.
But there is that kind of attraction we have, like we always like
bad
the
boy.
bad boy types. And in essence, like we want them to be like macho and kind of dismissive, but then we really want them to pay attention to us.
Yeah, no, I actually recently.
You want a nice CAD.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a comedian, a really good-looking comedian I had sex with a few years ago, and we saw each other at a show, and we kind of like hit that moment where he was like, oh, we should hook up again. I was like, yeah, why didn't we continue hooking up? He was so hot. And then he came over to my house, and we hooked up, and I was like, ugh, I remember why. Like he
Was it Paul?
No.
Okay.
Kevin Mack, also
my
very
God.
gorgeous.
Oh, I thought you would. You said his name.
But Kevin Mack is
Oh.
his name.
Sorry, you're terrible in bed, Kevin.
No, it wasn't terrible in
you
bed.
CAD.
He's fine in bed, but it's because he is exactly this. He doesn't he didn't care if I got off. He was there to fuck me and get off for himself. and
hate
was
that.
it.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
like 2 minutes later, he was
Ugh.
done.
It wasn't even 2 minutes. It was just like, it was almost like I was working for him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it
nice
just
too.
felt like there was nothing romantic to it whatsoever. Like, I invited him over. I was like, oh, we'll do a game night. We'll have a few drinks. It'll be cheeky and it'll be cute. And then we'll grow into the sexual attraction of wanting to fuck each other. And he was ready to, like, walk in the door, fuck, and leave. He was annoyed that I was, like, trying to be kiki and cute before. Like, he just wanted to get straight to the fucking, and then he wanted to leave. And then
Oh,
that was
wow.
it. And not talk to me
Do you
again.
think porn has anything to do with that?
Yes. Yeah, I
Because
definitely do.
it seems like porn, they don't really give a shit if the girl comes. And if she does come on camera, it looks to me as fake.
But I also think because this wasn't a porn guy. This is just a comedian.
But he knew
But
you
he
did
knows
this.
He knew,
from
yeah.
that.
But I
Although
also-
this exact same thing happened to me one time. I got in bed with this guy. He like took 2 seconds, and then he came and he's like, "Oh, it's okay. I can just turn on porn and come again." I'm like, "Wait a second. You're missing the point here. I'm getting
Right.
nothing out of this except for a
Yes.
hole that you're penetrating." And the worst thing about it, and I just was thinking about this story the other day. He left the door open, and I'm thinking, "What the hell is he leaving the door open for?" And I hear someone downstairs. It was his brother coming in the apartment, and he was like basically saying, "Come on up," and I'm like, "Close that fucking door. I'm getting the hell out of here."
Oh my God.
What
no.
the
You know what I call that? I call it a double cad. Him and his brother.
Cat square.
Double cad.
Crazy.
Holy shit.
That,
Yeah.
that obviously is not recently, but that was
Oh, this was years ago.
That's madness.
Oh,
I'd be
not
so
fun.
pissed off.
But I think the key to the whole thing was like, I should have said, no, I think I did at the time, saying, "Hey, you're not doing anything for me here." You know?
Right,
I think
yeah.
that's the hugest part of being a cougar is being able to communicate
Yeah.
and be confident in saying what you want.
But it's guys like this who just don't give a fuck.
They don't.
Yeah, like this guy wouldn't have cared if I came or not. He was just ready to get it in and out.
So what is your relationship like now? I mean, you're able to talk about him on the show.
Yeah.
So,
With that guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I literally haven't seen him since that happened.
oh wow.
And
Yeah.
that was a long time ago?
No, not that long. I'd say within the last year. It's definitely
Ah.
been since COVID. Yeah.
Having the kid.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
an idiot.
Yeah.
But it's funny because, like, gay men, we could see each other on the dance floor, go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, and then come back out and never talk to each other again. It's like, we
Yeah.
can do that kind of whatever.
Because a woman it could take up to 45 minutes for us to come.
Yes. Oh, for sure. I had a guy eating my pussy recently, and I had like porn on, and I could tell he was down there going like, "Is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen?" And I was like, "No, it's not. But you can stay as long as you want. But I'm gonna need other things."
Yeah, I need to bring in the arsenal, bring in the troops. I need the vibrators going in
Yes.
there. I need something else going on besides the tongue.
Well, it's funny because men talk
Yeah.
a big game. They're like,
Yep.
I can eat out a girl for hours, or I could suck dick for an hour. You know, and then you
matter.
actually get them, and then it's like 10 minutes. They're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
10 minutes is
Yeah.
long.
10 minutes is long. I will definitely say that. Personally, like in a masturbation, I'm like a 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what
You
need.
know what you do. You know
Yeah.
it's so bizarre. I find that very bizarre that you can make yourself come within 30 seconds, and yet you're with a guy and it takes like a
Yes.
good half hour to get going.
Well, because he's there ruining the image.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
When you're a private speaker, like, I just want to think about my investment.
that is exactly it.
yeah. I kind of feel, I don't know if anyone feels like this, but I sometimes will close my eyes to come when I'm with another person.
Always.
And then eventually I look down, I look at them, and I'm like, oh, you ruined it. You know? I'm like,
The worst that can happen to me is if someone says, "Are you going to come?"
Oh,
Do not say that.
That's the biggest
Oh.
turn off.
Yes.
Because if I was about like a 7 or 8, about to go to the 10, it went
Yeah.
right down to a 2. You know.
Yes, 100%.
You know what's funny about people looking at you, though? I go both ways in the same minute. Like, if I notice that they're not looking at me or their eyes are closed, I'm like, look at me. But then if you look at them and they're just, like, staring at you while they're doing this, it's like, what are you looking at?
Yes.
But I think I read somewhere, and it's at least it's true for myself. I cannot come with my eyes open.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
that's
I feel
interesting.
that.
As a woman, I can't do it. Men may be able to do it.
Oh, we could come, however. We could be in a coma and we're like, ah. It could be our funeral with stuff. Ah.
Cam, you
It's
can
true.
come. You can come with your eyes open.
Yeah, I think I can come without touching myself if I needed to.
Are you serious?
I think so.
That's hot.
He's
I
very.
think-
He's
When a
very
guy who can do
sensitive.
that?
You know,
Mm.
he's-
You can get the mind going, and then I don't know. I probably need to
You'd have
blow
to
on
brush
it or something.
Yeah, brush
something.
near it,
Yeah.
rub it up against something.
You probably have to log onto WebMD real fast. Oh, there we go. That's it.
Yeah.
The treatment.
Yes.
I mean, I definitely know, like, I can probably make myself come with crossing my legs and doing some nice movements.
Mm.
You
Or if
know?
you're in the bathtub or against the laundry
Yeah.
machine.
It
Laundry
can be
machine.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you get older, it's
My
not
laundry
as,
machine's stackable, so I can't. It's not the same. All right.
You're climbing in the dryer. I'm gonna make this happen.
Yeah. I'm always afraid one of my cats is going to end up in the washer or the dryer. The amount of times I have
What?
closed one of the washer or dryer doors and I immediately look around for both my cats to make sure that they're not in there.
Cats are from
bet.
the devil. You're just helping.
yes.
Not true. I love my kitty cats.
I know you do.
Okay, you guys, we've pretty much made it through this show.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is
I know.
So fun.
But before we do go, I want you guys to tell everyone where they can find you, where they can find your podcast, link them to everything. You can talk under these.
well, let's start on TikTok.
There you go.
KarenLee Poter on TikTok and Sex Talk with My Mom on TikTok.
Good for you. I'm still not
I
TikTok.
freaking love my TikTok. But basically, for me, you can find KarenLee Poter all over and Sex Talk with My Mom all over. Cam?
Yeah, you can find me at Single Cam Comedy wherever, and
our
our
podcast,
podcast. You
yeah.
Yes.
listen if you like this, you would love
my
listening to
God.
our show.
We
Yes.
call our listeners the Sneaky Freaks.
Oh my
So
God,
if
I
you'd
love
like
it.
to be a sneaky freak, we also have a Patreon page. It's
Oh.
Sex Talk with My Mom Patreon. But yeah, if you want to be a sneaky freak, we'd love to have you join us.
And
you
it's
get to
such
listen
a
to-
great show.
And you get to
Thank
listen
you.
to fun doctor letters.
You do.
And,
Oh my
and-
God, I want to watch just for that. I love it.
And then listen to the episode with Sylvia because you'll hear her dad and
My ex. Yeah.
And
I
it
love
was
that.
it was,
It was a
and it's
sweet
so,
episode.
It's so precious.
Yeah.
It was great.
If we remember it, if I shouldn't say we, if I remember it, it's special.
Yeah, well, link it to me and I'll re-promote so people
Okay.
can check it out again if they didn't see it the first time.
We will.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Alexander, for being here with me. Thank you to our Fleshbot and CyberSocket for sponsoring us. And until next time, guys, adios.